Social anxiety is often seen from the outside as just being shy, nervous, or introverted. But when you look closer, you find something much deeper. Social anxiety is not simply a personality trait, it's a complex interplay between biology, psychology, and lived experience. It's the quiet storm in the mind that makes ordinary social interactions feel like high-stakes performances. At the heart of social anxiety is a hyper-awareness of the self. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect, the belief that people are paying far more attention to us than they actually are. Imagine walking into a room and immediately feeling like every eye is on you, like every gesture or facial expression is being judged. For someone with social anxiety, this doesn't just happen occasionally, it's constant. And the more they focus on themselves, the more anxious they become, creating a feedback loop that's difficult to break. The body mirrors this mental struggle. Social anxiety is tied closely to the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for fear and threat detection. In socially anxious individuals, the amygdala can fire alarms over situations that are completely safe. A simple introduction, a pause in conversation, or even walking past a group of people can feel like a threat. The body then reacts with physical symptoms: a racing heart, shaky hands, sweating, dizziness, or shortness of breath. Ironically, these very symptoms often become the thing the person fears most because they worrying others will notice their anxiety, which only amplifies the cycle. Experience also plays a critical role. Many people with social anxiety can trace their fears back to early life: being teased in school, being overly criticized at home, or being put in situations where mistakes weren't allowed. Over time, these experiences condition the brain to expect rejection. This expectation grows into anticipatory anxiety, the tendency to dread social situations long before they happen. Weeks before a presentation or a party, someone with social anxiety might replay imaginary scenarios in their mind, rehearsing every possible mistake. By the time the event arrives, they're already exhausted from fighting battles that haven't even happened. On a deeper level, social anxiety reveals something profoundly human: the fragile balance between our need for belonging and our fear of rejection. Humans evolved as social beings. Our survival depended on staying within the group. To be cast out meant danger, isolation, even death. Social anxiety, in a way, is that ancient survival instinct gone into overdrive. It's the brain treating minor social risks like an awkward pause or a misunderstood joke as if they could lead to exile. What makes this even more interesting is that people with social anxiety are often highly empathetic. They're sensitive to others' emotions, finely attuned to the smallest shifts in tone or body language. The same hyper-awareness that creates their fear can also
make them thoughtful friends, observant listeners, and deeply compassionate people. Social anxiety, then, is not a flaw, it's a sensitivity dial turned up too high. Modern psychology offers tools for managing this. Cognitive behavioral therapy helps people challenge distorted thoughts, test their fears against reality, and slowly face situations they've been avoiding. Mindfulness practices teach them to step out of the endless cycle of self-focus and simply notice what's happening in the present moment. Medication, in some cases, can help regulate the brain's overactive fear response. Together, these approaches remind the socially anxious mind that social interaction is not a battlefield, it's a human connection. But perhaps the most important shift is cultural. We live in a society that often equates confidence with worth, where extroversion is celebrated and quietness is misunderstood. For someone with social anxiety, this makes the struggle even harder, because they feel pressure not just to participate in social life, but to perform it flawlessly. Learning to see social anxiety not as weakness, but as a common human experience could help remove the stigma that makes it so isolating. In the end, the psychology of social anxiety tells us a lot about what it means to be human. It reminds us that our minds are wired both for connection and for fear, that the desire to belong is one of the strongest forces shaping our behavior. Social anxiety is that desire, magnified into something painful, but with compassion, both from ourselves and from others, it can be softened. Because beneath the anxiety lies a truth we all share, the wish to be seen, accepted, and understood.